right, so here we're going to take a quick look at gravity. And gravity is the force of attraction between all objects, all things that have mass. All right, they're all things that are made up of matter. They have mass, or made up of stuff. Okay, so we have gravity, or attraction between all objects. So not just big objects like Earth, all right, or the moon or the sun have gravitational forces, all objects. Okay, so objects like my pen, pencils, trees, anything that has mass has a force of attraction between other things that have mass, which is gravity. So what we want to look at is what affects the strength of gravity. The strength, what makes it stronger, because we know some things, the gravitational force is stronger, we can actually feel them, while others we cannot. So there's two main factors that are going to affect the strength of gravity. And what I'm going to use to demonstrate that are magnets. And they have a force of attraction, all right, to magnetic things like paper clips, all right. So the first thing that we look at is we know that this is a pretty strong magnet, that they are attracted to one another. But right now, the magnet and the paper clip are not interacting. All right, so as we look and we kind of move the paper clip a little closer, and maybe the magnet will be a better visual. As we move the two closer together, once they get to a certain distance, all right, that force of attraction will hold them together. And so we can do that again, watching. And as they move closer, now that gravitation, or that attractive force between them, is going to bring the objects together. So again, this gravity is a together force, all right? So it's a force of attraction between all objects with mass, and it's a together force. So both these objects, all right, it's together, not downwards. All right, so they have a force of attraction between their centers. All right, the center of the object, no matter how big it is, it's the center. So the first thing that we just looked at was distance. Right? We could see that the distance, how close they were, affected how strong it was. And we noticed that the closer it was, the stronger that force was. Okay, so, and that makes sense because there are objects that have much more massive objects in our galaxy, and we don't orbit around them because they're so far away. So they might be more massive than our sun, right? It's just so far away, that their gravitational force doesn't affect us. So then there must be something else, because I am very close to these. We're touching, yet when I try to pull this away, that force of attraction doesn't feel strong. So one other thing that we look at is the amount of stuff, or the amount of mass something has. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to use a magnet, all right, and the paper clip again. I don't know if you can kind of see that. And this is a spring. Okay, let's do this side, Newtons, yeah. A spring right here, and you can see the spring goes, the harder you pull, the further down. So the more force, the further down that goes. All right, and I'm going to put one paper clip and that magnet, and I'm going to, I don't know if I can get this all in one frame, and I'm going to pull, and that comes off fairly easy. You can see it goes down to about 2 newtons of force. All right, now I'm going to add another paper clip, and I'm going to put them on the same magnet, so that's that same amount of space, but now I have more paper clips, more stuff, and I'm going to pull and see how much force it takes to separate them. And that one is a little bit stronger at about 4. So I'm going to put another paper clip on. All right, they're all the same magnet. I'm going to pull a little bit, pull. More force. All right, and I'll just put a bunch on. So we can see here, I don't even know how many I have on here now, 5, 6, but look at how much force it takes to separate those. Oh, I'm still pulling. still. Oh! And so that took about 10 newtons of force for me to separate those. So we can see that the number of paper clips, the amount of stuff, or what we can call mass, the more mass it has, the more gravitational force. So we know that the distance we looked at, the closer things were stronger, right? And we noticed that the amount of stuff, so mass, so the more mass you have, an object has, the stronger the gravitational force. All right, so these are the kind of the two things that affect the strength of gravity. That is their distance, the closer, stronger, and then the more mass, you could see the more paper clips we had, the stronger the gravitational force between those two objects.